Played at Chelmsford between Essex and Yorkshire in 1979. Yorkshire were asked to bat first. In fact, they made a pretty useful firm start, 65 for no wicket off 22 overs. And we'll see now Stuart Turner bowling to John Hampshire.
That's a good shot. Over pitch, clipped away, that's racing away, and Norbert Phillip will have to give it best.
Chance to see how quick the far side of the ground is. Perhaps not quite as fast nor as short as the right-hand side as we look out, but still 4 runs to Richard Lum. So that's a good shot. Right off the meat of the bat, that one. There's no long on. Over Hardy's head. Was in saving the single at mid-on. Bit of improvisation that has turned out wonderfully well for John Hampshire. That's a super shot. No worries about that one. That was a terrific stroke because the ball itself was pitched around about middle, and John Hampshire now has gone to 50. Really good innings there, coming in to open when the team had to be reshuffled this morning with Steve Oldham and Jeff Boycott out, and Hampshire's gone in first with Richard Lum, has brought up the century partnership and his own half century. Caught by Stuart Turner. John Hampshire has gone for 54. The first wicket goes down at 107. That was nicely judged into the backdrop of trees and crowd, and Turner did very well to get around to it. Ray East claims his first wicket in his 5th over. Hampshire caught Turner bowled East for 53. The scoreboard has him at 54, but we say here he's made 53. That's got to be very close indeed. The cut away towards the leg side. That sharp had come across a long way. That's a good piece of bowling from Norbert Phillip in his 6th over. The second Yorkshire wicket goes down. Kevin Sharp without scoring, and Richard Lum's 48 not out, 109 for 2.
What he should be looking to do, should punt, is try and give one to Richard Lum, if anything. Richard Lum's 50 there. Very nice 50 indeed. He's been a very successful player for Yorkshire throughout the month of June, and still running into form in July with a big 100 the other day against Somerset, and now a very fine 50 in this vital semi-final against Essex.
Beautifully bowled. The quicker ball in with the arm. Nice piece of cricket that. Almost an in-swinger. And Ray East picks up his 2nd wicket. How nice it is to see the spinner taking a full part in a limited over game. 114 for 3 with Athy bowled East 1.
And it's beautifully taken a deep square leg, and Jim Love goes. 4 men out now for 123 in the 38th over. A first wicket there to Keith Pont. Yorkshire, who makes such a great start here, 107 for the opening stand, have now lost 4 wickets for 16 runs. had hit there that Richard Lumb would really have been struggling. Oh, he's golden. Very useful swinging Yorker there from Norbert Phillip. And that's a great blow for Essex, because that sees the back of Richard Lumb, who's been there since the start, bowled by Norbert Phillip for 75, and Yorkshire now 146 for 5. And the game, which went very much Yorkshire's way in the first hour and a half's play, now swung very violently, and Essex must now be delighted with the position. Crowd rising to Richard Lumb, who's continued his run of fine scores over the last week or two, and gets an excellent hand from this tremendous crowd here at Chelmsford. Well, I think that's really the tactics that had to pay. He wasn't getting very far with his optimistic push for singles. He sliced that over cover for 4. And Yorkshire now find themselves in a position where they've got to take a few chances. And he's come down the long way. If he hits, he must be out, and David Bairstow is run out. And felt it was always on the cards that there was going to be a run out between these two. But again, an example of this brilliant work by Essex in the field. Well, that's a bit of blow for Yorkshire to lose Bairstow, the one man in the late order who could really have hurried things along. And he goes run out for 10, and Yorkshire now 152 for 6. That's in the air. It's a little dolly catch. So it's not been a happy day there for Arnie Sidebottom. Back in the side, he struggled there for 15 minutes to get off the mark. It never, in fact, broke his duck. And finally, up at Keith Fletcher, a very simple catch in the covers. So Yorkshire now have crashed from 1 to 153 for 7. And bear in mind, they had an opening partnership here worth 107 runs.
Stroke, but one brought about by the circumstances. Carrick goes, bowled by John Lever for 1. It's 159 for 8. That's a typical limited over stroke late in the innings, with pressure on the batting side. Don Osley is ready. So is Graham Stevenson, and so is John Lever. That's safe, no slip. $13 to Stevenson, the total to 168. Short one, 2 balls to go, and then another one round about leg stump, and sheer frustration there for Stevenson, who had to have a go with the 53rd over being bowled. It's been bowled by John Lever for 13. It's 168 for 9. Stevenson, having made 13, was dismissed in this fashion. Single there. So it's 173 for 9. Yorkshire, having been put into bat by Essex here at Chelmsford. The not-out batsman Howard Cooper on 4 and Chris Old 1 at the end of the 55 overs.
And that was the final Yorkshire scorecard. Only 4 players getting into double figures, falling away disappointingly after that 107 opening stand between Richard Lumb, who was top scorer with 75, and John Hampshire, who made 53. Only Bairstow and Stevenson getting into double figures. And the Essex bowling, well, all the bowlers got wickets. Lever got 2 for 31, Phillip 2 for 28, Turner 1 for 31, Pont 1 for 45, and the best bowler of the lot, East, 2 for 25. So Essex required 174 to win, which was at 3.16 per over, which many people thought was certainly not enough runs because the wicket was good and the outfield very, very fast indeed. But the Yorkshire opening bowlers, Stevenson and Old, had different ideas. We're going to pick it up at the start of the second over. Stevenson is bowling to Lily, our commentator, Richie Bunner.
And he's gone. First ball, a good one from Graham Stevenson, the outswinger. And that's a real setback for Essex. Didn't really have to play at it. It was dragged away by the swing, followed it across, and Bairstow did the rest.
That's another good shot. That'll race through for 4 on this very fast outfield. Slightly overpitched on leg stump, and Ken McEwen ready to make the most of it. Very, very faintly tickle there. Raced away again. It's 4 more. Well, this is the way that McEwen plays his cricket and plays it so successfully in this country. He's always looking to play shots. That's 4 runs. Both batsmen very quick to punish anything over pitch round about leg stump. And that's out. And Sidebottom snaps up a very vital wicket. In his first over, a good change then by Hampshire. Chris Holder, both so beautifully replaced by Sidebottom, and Sidebottom takes McEwen. 42 for 2. And McEwen goes for 18. Another catch to David Bairstow. And Yorkshire 42 for 2 now in the 13th over.
Sidebottom to Fletcher. And a fine shot. Never there with his feet, but he was certainly there with the middle of the bat. And that's Keith Fletcher off the mark now. And Essex on to 46 for 2. Gooch is on 28. And now on 32, that's a fine shot. Total goes to 66 for 2. Even though 1 or 2 have found the edge of Gooch's bat, he's played some magnificent strokes. We're in the 21st over. Graham Stevenson again. A little bit unlucky perhaps for Fletcher. He hit that with tremendous power, but it's the 3rd wicket down for Essex. 68 for 3 now. Shortish ball, and it was Sidebottom at point who took quite a startling catch, and one that has since caused him some distress. Stevenson's rolling the fingers over that ball and getting quite a bit of movement off the seam. Mainly leg cutters. In the air again. Well done. That's a fine effort away down on the 3rd man boundary from Howard Cooper. Two to Hardy, takes him on to 8. Total of 86 for 3. That's a better shot. 90 now for Essex, and Hardy has gone on to 12. Not only 4 runs off the bat, but called a no ball as well, which means Stevenson has to bowl 1 extra delivery in this over. There's a man out at deep cover now. That's Phil Carrick. Hardy will still get 2.
Way outside leg stump, swept away for 4 runs. Really loose delivery there from Phil Carrick. And that's a magnificent catch by Barlow, and Gooch is out for 49 with the total on 99. Essex 99 for 4. Another tremendous catch by David Bairstow. Deflection and held joyously high by David Bairstow. That's his 3rd catch of the innings. He's beaten batsman, beaten wicketkeeper, beaten everybody. Tremendous reception from the home crowd here for the Essex 100 going up. And that's out, it's caught behind, another snick. Bairstow takes his 4th catch, side bottom picks up his 3rd wicket, and Brian Hardy goes for 24. 112 now for 5, and once again the game thrown wide open. Oh, that's a glorious shot, as good a shot as we've seen all day. Fairly hammered through extra cover by Keith Pont. So it takes his total on to 6, and Essex moving on now to 120 for 5. And that's cracked powerfully away through mid-wicket by Keith Pont. It's dropped round about leg stump and hammered away there. Keith Pont taking his total now on to 13 and moving Essex on to 131 for 5. Taking a single to Sharp, and a hit, and again it's going to be penalised, that throw. One of the unfortunate things in the game of cricket. A lovely piece of fielding, an excellent throw, and the thrower gets penalised, and the batsmen take a second for the overthrow.
The catch of the day. He took a little earlier what was the catch of the day to that point. Arnold Sidebottom has caught Norbert Phillip, or Phil Carrick, a super catch to follow the one with which he dismissed the Essex captain Keith Fletcher a little earlier. 139 for 6 now. It was good judgment from Sidebottom there. He had the sun at his back and came racing in and took it right at bootlace height. "47 overs completed, 8 still to go, and 31 runs needed. 143 for 6, and Pont has strike. Sold at point, and the cheers each time the ball's not scored from, coming from the Yorkshire supporters, as their players increase the pressure. single. Benson at deep square. It's well fielded. And he's just, Sidebottom's just motioning the two drives back a little bit. Well struck low by Pont. Stevenson's the fieldsman. And very nicely taken by Bairstow, an awkwardly bouncing ball. And up comes the 150 for Essex now, with Keith Pont going on to 22. Stuart Turner's 5. Just 24 runs needed. Cooper. 3 to Keith Pont. Well, Yorkshire won't quite know what to make of that, because twice there with very good delivery, Sidebottom got past the outside edge of Pont's bat. 169 for 6, 53 overs gone, just 2 to go. 5 runs still needed, and we come back now to Howard Cooper's 10th over, and the fact that the 6th bowler will have to bowl the 55th over if needed. So the crowds are on top of the car park, they're on the roads outside, and this ground itself is absolutely packed for what will be Howard Cooper's last over, his 10th. Pont is 36. All the fieldsmen are in now. It's men down at deep fine leg and one at third man, but the rest is a semicircle from backward point to backward square. Gillespie. And the question comes now, which of the Yorkshire players will be asked to bowl the 55th over and act as 6th bowler, and probably it will have to be Gillespie. In the air, and he's going to be out. Jim Love takes it. Pont is gone for 36. 169 for 7 now. And what excitement here at this Chelmsford ground. Pont caught Love, bowled Cooper, 36, 169 for 7, with 174 the target needed. Right now is Neil Smith to join Stuart Turner, and this is the reason he's coming out of this late stage of proceedings. Keith Pont never quite balanced in trying to play that pull shot, and Jim Love judged it pretty well. He's not wearing a cap, and the sun must have posed a few problems for him there as he was running away and trying to turn his head and still keep the ball in focus. Turner's on strike now. The batsman crossed. Richard Lum. 169 for 7. There are 8 balls remaining and 5 runs needed. Well fielded, John Hampshire. Just the single there to Stuart Turner. It's 170 for 7. Turner's on 11. 4 runs needed. 7 balls remaining, and Neil Smith is on strike. 1 ball to be bowled by Howard Cooper, and then 6 to be bowled by a bowler yet to be nominated. What a great blow by Neil Smith. No need for that extra bowler. 174 the total goes on to. Neil Smith has cracked a square cut of Howard Cooper. The last ball of the 54th over, and Essex go through to the final of the Benson and Hedges Cup, beating Yorkshire by 3 wickets. Stuart Turner remains 11 not out.
I knew how Essex reached the Benson and Hedges final in 1979. Now we'll